Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday. Another day on the hill, another day at the hump. And welcome to the Mike Prince Show. I am your host, Dr. Michael Prince. And man, we've got some reporting to do today. Cruz and Sanders just refused to die down. They did a lot of things going. Now Trump is starting to cry foul. Isn't that interesting? The NCAA tournaments, basketball divisions have come to a conclusion, and what an event it was in Houston, Texas. We'll tell you all about that as well. Of course, we'll bring you up to speed on life on the Hill as far as Prairie View athletics on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. And Major League Baseball season has started. The NFL is talking about potential expansions, and the Houston Rockets have a potential playoff spot on the hunt. We'll tell you all about it when we return. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Sit tight, and we'll be right back with our first segment. You're listening to Community Radio on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, 87.9 FM, Prairie View, Texas.
It's a medical breakthrough. Doctors are prescribing something new to help prevent cancer and improve survival rates. But you don't get it filled at the pharmacy. The answer is as close as your local supermarket. That's right. Research has shown that a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, beans, whole grains, and other high-fiber vegetarian foods protects against cancer and can even help survival rates. Side effects of a vegetarian diet include increased energy, lower cholesterol levels, and better overall health. And with the right recipes, a high-fiber vegetarian diet can be a delicious way to help shed those unwanted pounds. So, stock up today. For a free nutrition booklet filled with delicious cancer-fighting recipes, visit cancerproject.org or call 866-906-WELL. That's 866-906-WELL. This message brought to you by the Cancer Project, committed to preventing cancer and improving survival.
While cutting molding with a 12-inch dual compound miter saw, while holding a newborn baby in your arms, when face-to-face with a congregation of alligators, with the ball in your hands and the entire freaking season on the line.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? NASCAR driver Casey Kane here, asking you to please stop the text. And together, we can stop the wrecks.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Get the message at stoptextstopwrecks.org.
What if I told you that for $36, you could make a big difference? At $36 a year, you can become a listening partner with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. This annual donation would help us continue the success of our broadcast throughout Waller County. Visit our website at ktorradio.com and become a listening partner today. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I am your host, Mike Prince, and I hope that you are off to a fantastic week. We are midstream, and as you get midstream, you know anything can happen as you work toward that weekend. And speaking of anything happening, how about Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders? They were once left dead in the water, and now they're keeping hope alive. Both of these guys had to win Wisconsin on last night, and guess what? They did just that. They took care of business on both sides. So now what looked to be a sure end for Mr. Trump and Mrs. Hillary Clinton, both of them kind of looking over their backs right now, trying to find out exactly what's going on and how it's going to go. As far as the Democratic Party is concerned, April 14th will be the next Democratic debate, and it'll be interesting to hear and see how Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton will battle off. Now, of course, if you're not familiar, Bernie Sanders has a We the People type campaign. He's refusing to take any type of money from any large lobbyist type organizations, and he's been asking common, everyday Joe Blow citizen for a donation of $27. To record, they have over 6 million donors. And just doing simple math, that is $162 million that the people are lining up behind Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders has been gaining some serious momentum. He had to start off with the youth movement, where he's been listening, or the youth have said that he has an ear, he is in tune to some things. In fact, some political experts are saying that Hillary Clinton has had to get sharper on her political stance on things because of the fact that Bernie Sanders has come so strong and has made such valid points. So New York and Pennsylvania will be the next delegates up for grabs, and it is getting to become a very, very interesting run for the White House. Meanwhile, on the Republican side of things, now all of a sudden, Trump is crying foul. Can you imagine that? Trump is saying that Kasich should not even be allowed to continue to run in the race. In fact, he's quoted for saying that he's taking my votes. He's hurting him. And what happened, we talked about this a little bit last week, where these guys are coming together now, and it's all about squeezing Trump out now. And Trump has been bullying everybody and saying whatever he wants to say, doing how he wants to do. And in many experts' opinions, they're saying that Trump has really not stood on any type of issues. Now Trump is saying that he is being mistreated. And in fact, if he is not selected as the Republican nominee for the presidential choice, he's considering going third-party candidate. And it's interesting how time brings about a change on all of this that's going on. So now Trump is crying Mr. Foul. Hillary is looking a little bit more concerned, and Cruz and Sanders are amping up and ready to go at it yet again. It is all so interesting. Whoever you decide to vote for, you need to make sure that you do get out and vote. You can vote for Peter Cottontail for all I care, but just get out there and cast your vote and make sure that your voice is heard. You gotta like the way things are shaping up right now and how they're developing. The closer you get to these type of things, the more of impact, and as far as the rubber meeting the road type content will start coming out. And so April the 14th will be the next time that the Democratic debate gets together, as we mentioned earlier here. And it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this unfolds. Meanwhile, you do have the Trump watching right now, and to see how everything is going to get. It is amazing to me how Trump has been able to avoid a lot of the hard-nosed questions, if you will, and he has steady gained momentum. But now that it's coming down to crunch and winning some of these must-win states to go and slam this out, Cruz is gaining some momentum on that particular run. So we'll keep a watch out on all of that to see how everything folds and unfold, if you will. And meanwhile, just a little local touch. Don't forget that if you are in the Prairie View community, the Prairie View community will be making a very historical decision here within the next 30 plus days. The office of mayor will be opened up for the first time in 14 years. The incumbent Frank Jackson has decided that he would not run any longer, and so therefore it will be up for grabs, if you will. There are 4 candidates for that mayoral race. It will be yours truly, Dr. Michael Prince, David Allen, Mr. Brian Rowland, and James Larry will be the 4 candidates. And you can meet with us on this coming Saturday, April the 9th. April the 9th, this coming Saturday, beginning at 9 a.m. with a breakfast, and the forum will start at 10 a.m. where you get a chance to meet the candidates, ask questions, this, not, or the other, for you to make a determined and a wise decision on who would be representing the city as far as the mayor is concerned. Now, what we've done as far as due diligence to try to help you make a wise decision, we have provided you with all of the candidates' forms to date. You can go and listen at your own discretion at michaelprinceformayor.com. It's MICHAEL, the number 4, mayor.com. It's michaelprinceformayor.com. You go and listen. We don't have any slant on things. I just happen to have it set up where you get a chance to see our platform, what we're standing for, and if it is something that you think that will be worthy for you to get behind and support, then by all means we invite you to come and be a part of the team. So you get ahead and go out there and check out things and see for yourself just what the candidates have to say, the substance of each candidate, and you make your own decision. Go to michaelprinceformayor.com. Check things out for yourself. We're going to take us a quick break, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about a wonderful, wonderful basketball championship game between Villanova Wildcats and the North Carolina Tar Heels. We'll be right back to talk about that and the dominance of the Lady Huskies from the University of Connecticut. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show right here live on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Hello, this is Mike Prince, the host of the Mike Prince Show, featured right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Just wanted to share with you that we have our app available where you can go and download it at Google Play absolutely free. You'll never miss another show. You can catch up with old archives, and you can pass it on. It's the gift that keeps on giving. The Mike Prince Show app available at Google Play absolutely free. Talk that makes sense. The Mike Prince Show right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, is a great opportunity for you to have your next community event, whether it be nonprofit, funeral reception, community, charity, government, church, or individuals. The Jazz Bar has the accommodations to meet your need. The Jazz Bar is open Thursdays through Sundays, and you can schedule your private parties Mondays through Wednesdays. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, dial 936-857-9566. It's a new year, and that means tax season is here. And Gunderson's Bookkeeping can provide you with personal income tax preparation. For more information and schedule an appointment, call Gunderson's Bookkeeping at 936-372-2661. Has your vehicle been giving you the blues? Contact our good friends at Larry's Automotive at 30540 FM 1488 in the Field Store area. Now 936-931-5566. And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I am your host, Mike Prince. Remember to follow us on Twitter at OBN_radio. That is OBN_radio. Follow us on Twitter. We give you all the latest and the greatest when we have our live games coming up, show updates, and everything else like that. We're also on Instagram at OBN Radio. OBN Radio. Of course, that stands for Open Mic Broadcast Network, and that's where you can find us on Facebook at Open Mic Broadcast Network. That is OPEN, capital MIC. That is all one word, Broadcast Network. And don't forget, when all else fails, you can listen and find us on our website at obnradio.com. Well, congratulations to the Lady Huskies as they dominated Syracuse last night for the women's championship for the NCAA basketball division. They have now won 4 consecutive championship games. And if you recall, last week I closed out where people were saying that it's become boring. It has become monotonous on how Connecticut wins all the time, and it's just taking the fun out of sports. And I say, beat them. You complain about the dominance of Connecticut when there's an even playing field to more or less. You just got to outwork them, out-recruit them, and you cannot complain and cry over spilt milk because they got the magic jelly beans working right now. And as always goes, that is the program of dominance, and that is the program that you would model yourself after to go ahead and try and throw them off the throne, if you will. And once again, congratulations to Syracuse. Syracuse represented well. They had a good run getting there, but just like everybody else, they ran out of gas when it came to Connecticut, and you cannot fault Connecticut for being Connecticut. Job well done. And what about that game between Villanova and North Carolina? It was the shot of the ages that will reign forever as Villanova wins on a last-second three-pointer. And the beauty behind all of that is I had the luxuries of being able to be there in person. We were granted a media pass from the NCAA, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, in which I was extremely proud and honored that we were recognized as a viable media outlet in the Houston market. So we were very thankful behind that. But to be there, and the atmosphere was totally electric. Over 74,000 people in NRG Stadium, and it was electrifying from beginning to end. In most cases, basketball games are pretty much predictable, but this game went back and forth, and it was really a survival of the fittest. And all the kudos and the high praises go to NRG and to how they handled and set up everything. It was top class, top notch handling of things from beginning to end. We were there for the press conferences and all the whereabouts that led up to the championship game. And man, what an experience it was! And I am totally at awe and thankful that we were able to really experience it. I got a chance to meet with Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith, Michael Jordan, Ernie from the lead from the TBS crew. It was truly a great experience, and for those who were there, and especially if you're a Villanova Wildcat fan, it's one of those that will never ever get out of your mindset. And once again, congratulations to Villanova. They are the 2016 men champion, and for the University of Connecticut Lady Huskies, both champions of the 2016 campaign. And speaking of champions, the Prairie View A&M University Panthers bowling team fell short to Jackson State. We did make mention of that last week. Had scheduled to get with Coach Glenn White, and due to I had a little sickness on yesterday where we couldn't get together for our interview, but I promise you that is coming in the very, very near future. Just hold on and hold on. Just some things that got beyond. And in fact, I was so worn down physically, I was in the bed by 6 o'clock and I slept the entire night through. So that just lets you know what kind of time I've been having. But I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all, because that is part of what we do and how we do, and just making sure that everything will line up the next time around. I want you to know something. You need to be sure to check out with some of our affiliates throughout the country. We have the Greenwood Live group out of Greenwood, Mississippi, of course, and that is Brother Lee Hall. Go ahead and check them out at gwoodlive.com. They have a lot of interesting things going on throughout the state of Mississippi, in particular for the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils. Lee Hall is the voice of the Delta Devils as we kind of work things out. And also want to welcome Mr. Charles Bishop. Charles Bishop will be doing some work through the Open Mic Broadcast Network on behalf of Jackson State and Texas Southern. So we'll be making sure that all these things are tie in as we lead the pack, if you will, in Southwestern Athletic Conference coverage. And speaking of coverage, we had an opportunity to broadcast the Lady Panthers in their victory over the Grambling State Lady Tigers. As in fact, Lady Panthers pulled off the sweep over the Lady Grambling Tigers as they get prepared to take on the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff Lady Golden Lions in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. They'll take over this weekend. Right now, the Lady Panthers are in what we would like to call the catbird seat. They're sitting in second place in the Western Division of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and they're led by head coach Vernon Bland. So the Lady Panthers are primed to try and make some things up and make up some lost ground, if you will, on the Texas Southern Lady Tigers. Right now, the standings for the Southwestern Athletic Conference, beginning in the East, Alabama State continues to be the dominant force in the SWAC. They're 9-0 in conference play. They're 18-19 overall. Mississippi Valley State is 5-4, which gives them in a three-way tie for second place. They're 9-20 overall. They're also tied with Alcorn State, who's at 5-4. They're 9-21 overall. And Alabama A&M is at 5-4. They're 7-23 overall. And bringing up the rear are the Jackson State Lady Tigers. They're at 1-3. 4-18 overall. Now, as far as the West is concerned, you have Texas Southern, who's at 7-1 in conference play. They're 14-12 overall. Lady Panthers, as we mentioned, they're at 4-5, which is good enough for second place right now with an overall record of 7-17. And Arkansas Pine Bluff, who the Panthers will be playing this weekend, are coming in at a 2-7 record, 11-24 overall. Then you have Southern at 1-4, 4-12 overall, and Grambling State bringing up the rear at 1-8 with a 4-26 overall conference record. And the Panthers are, as we mentioned, in position where they can really do some serious damage in this Southwestern Athletic Conference Western Division if they can pull off another sweep. So be sure to check in with us on our Twitter account as we'll give you scoring updates of the Lady Panthers at OBN_radio. And you can also go with Prairie View Athletics. They'll give you the tweets and updates on that as well. Now, as far as the baseball side of things go, congratulations to Coach Riggins. He got his first sweep of the season as they were able to take care of the Wiley Wildcats. Now, it was a little bit rough on the game one. They won 8-7 and then turned it on, winning 20-10 on the Sunday game. Now, the Panthers have an extremely huge series coming up this weekend. It is Texas Southern weekend. Texas Southern weekend at John Tankersley Baseball Complex on the campus of Prairie View A&M University, where the Panthers will be hosting the Tigers. Now, the Friday game will be featured on the SWAC Digital Network. Texas Southern and Prairie View, that game will be televised on the SWAC Digital Network, but you can come on out and experience the game firsthand at the John Tankersley Baseball Complex. It's a lot of fun. Come out and support Coach Riggins and the Panthers as they get ready to try and make this run. Right now, as we go into the baseball standings, starting from the East, Alabama State, they're dominating from the men's side. They're 12-0 in conference play, 20-12 overall. Jackson State is at 6-3. They're 17-12 overall. Alcorn State is at 3-6. They are 4-20 overall. Alabama A&M is at 3-8. They're 6-25 overall. Mississippi Valley State is at 2-9, and they're 4-21 overall. Now for the west side of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Grambling State Tigers, they're 8-4 in conference play, 11-16 overall. They're leading the West. Arkansas Pine Bluff, 8-4 conference play, 8-19 overall. They're in second place. Texas Southern is at 7-5 conference-wise, 13-14 overall. Prairie View comes in with 3-8, and they are 9-16 overall. And then Southern's at 3-8, and they're 8-18 overall. Now, if you recall, the Panthers took 2 of the 3-game series down in Houston against the Texas Southern Tigers. And so right now, Coach Riggins is going to try and continue on. This, as we mentioned, will be a huge game for the Panthers and that Western Division race, as the Panthers will start their second half of the baseball season to get things on the way. So we will be there. As a matter of fact, for those who don't know, that I am the play or the public announcer for the home games, and we broadcast the road games on our network here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. So come on out and support the Panthers, support Prairie View, and just have a good old family time out at the old ballpark. We're going to take us a break, and when we come back, we'll be talking a little bit more sports. MLB season has started, Major League Baseball, of course, that is, and the NFL with the possibilities of expanding their already diluted playoff series. We'll talk about all that when we return. You listen to the Mike Prince Show. I am your host, Mike Prince. Keep it where you got it, and we'll be right back.
It's a new year, and that means tax season is here. And Gunderson's Bookkeeping can provide you with personal income tax preparation. For more information and schedule an appointment, call Gunderson's Bookkeeping at 936-372-2661. You're listening to Community Radio on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, 87.9 FM, Prairie View, Texas.
You know what? I got a problem with drinking and driving. Too many fall victim, most don't survive it. We just gotta think before we drink, cause you can lose your life just as fast as you can blink. It's that simple. We all know driving drunk is illegal, still we're doing it. I'm just trying to smarten up my people so we can keep it safe on the roads. I'm all about mad, and that's because they got a positive goal. So next time when you out with the guys, make sure at least one stays sober to ride. Keep it safe, y'all. Yeah, keep it safe, y'all. Yeah, mad.org.
You want to know what Boy Scouting is all about? Boy Scouts of America program has 3 specific objectives, commonly referred as the aims of scouting. They are character development, citizenship training, and personal fitness. If you have a young man between the ages of 11 and 17 and you live in the Houston area, dial 713-659-8111. On my honor, I will do my best.
Did you know that physically active children are healthier? It's true. Exercise protects them from diabetes, obesity, cancer, and heart disease. Sadly, nearly half of our kids don't get the recommended 60 minutes of exercise a day. So turn off your kids' TV or computer and take them outside for a walk or bike ride. After all, what's more important than your child's health? To learn more about getting exercise into your child's life, visit the American Council on Exercise website at acefitness.org. That's acefitness.org.
Are you looking for an affordable way to increase your business? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network lead the way. For a customized, affordable ad campaign, call 832-213-8824.
And welcome back to the Michael Prince Show. I am your host, Mike Prince, and we are ready to move on right along. As you know, here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network in particular, we're baseball friendly, and Major League Baseball has started, and the opening day of Sunday had some few games that were taken. Well, actually started on Saturday with the opening series as we got things going, and they were able to make sure that everything worked its way out and everybody was okay and hunky-dory. And we had some opening day scores. Pittsburgh Pirates were victorious over the St. Louis Cardinals 4-1. Los Angeles Angels were victorious over the Chicago Cubs 6-4. Toronto over Tampa Bay 5-3. And the Kansas City Royals, picking up where they left off from, beating the Mets 4-3 on April 4th, which was Monday. San Francisco was victorious over Milwaukee by a score of 12-3. Minnesota lost to Baltimore 3-2. Seattle lost to Texas by the score of 3-2, and Washington was over Atlanta in 10 innings by the score of 4-3. Cincinnati over Philly 6-2, and the Dodgers had a softball event with San Diego beating them by the score of 15-0. Toronto 5, Tampa Bay 3, and Colorado 10-5 over Arizona. And the Cubs put a spanking on the Angels, returning that favor 9-0. Chicago was 4-3 winners over Oakland, and Boston and Cleveland was postponed due to inclement weather. And on yesterday, the St. Louis Cardinals fell again to the Pittsburgh Pirates by the score of 6-5 in 11 innings. Houston won in a controversial game under protest by the Yankees by the score of 5-3. We'll see how that all comes out. Boston 6, Cleveland 2, New York Mets 2, and Kansas City 0. Detroit over Miami by the score of 8-7 in 11 innings. And you had Tampa Bay over Toronto 3-2. Seattle beat Texas 10-2. San Francisco victorious over Milwaukee 2-1. Arizona 11. Colorado 6. Chicago White Sox 6. And the Los Angeles Angels 1. The Chicago White Sox 5. Oakland Athletics 4. The Dodgers 3. San Diego 0. And, of course, you will have some matchups on tonight. You have the Pirates and the Cardinals again. Toronto at the Devil Rays. And then you have the Frisco Giants and the Milwaukee Brewers getting together. The Rangers and the Mariners will get together tonight. Colorado and Arizona. Detroit and Miami. Boston at Cleveland. Minnesota at Baltimore. Houston and the Yankees will get together tonight. Washington at Atlanta, and Philadelphia and Cincinnati. Dodgers in San Diego, and Chi-Town against the Oakland Athletics. And so as you see it, baseball is out and amongst us, and there is nothing that any of you can say and do about it, because it started, and the boys of summer will be taking full throttle and full control. Now, we have some interesting tidbits coming up about the NFL. Back in '96, I believe it was, the NFL expanded their playoff teams to 12, which created that wild card weekend. And that has been very, very good, very successful for revenue and ratings for the NFL. But now they're talking about possibly expanding this thing to 14 teams. Is that too much? Is it overkill? I don't mind if they do this route, but when you have a team that's going 8-8, possibly 7-9, winning their division, and they're hosting a playoff game, I have a problem with that. So is the NFL going too far by trying to stretch this thing and make the season longer? You know, they're playing with, and have been for quite some time now, about eliminating a couple of preseason games to expand the season. And they already have what I think is a serious problem that they need to do away with altogether, and that's the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is absolutely the most worthless game in any major sport. You might as well just have a Pro Bowl team and just eliminate the game, because even when you try to add the little, twist to things, it's still not a good product to watch. And it's the NFL tampering on damaging their product out of greed. Let's look at it. The only reason that you would expand the playoff bracket from the way it is right now is simply out of greed. And I understand, you got some teams that go 10-6 and some even go 11-5 that are missing the playoffs. But then you have the rule, if they win the division, they automatic playoff bid, which is okay. But they should not host a game if you have a below 500 record. If you're 8-8, you're 7-9, and even potentially 9-7, you ought to be questioned on whether or not you get to host a playoff game. I could see you being in a playoff game as a wild card on the road, perhaps, but hosting a game, I don't understand the logic. I mean, I understand it, but I don't agree with it. I guess that's what I should say, because you won your division is why they want to grant you this right, if you will. But it's just one of those things that I'm not really sold on just yet. So we'll find out how and where all this is. We'll give you a close watch on things as they begin to unfold and make that happen. And speaking of making things happen, we did get a chance to talk with Coach Shotgun Simmons for the Prairie View Panthers on this past week. And you can actually go to the website, obnradio.com, or go to our Spreaker account. That is Spreaker, Spreaker, and look for Open Mic Broadcast Network. You get a chance to hear Coach Willie Simmons talk about the spring ball aspects. And in fact, there is going to be a football camp this weekend, or Friday, April the 8th, down at the Sheraton Hotel in Houston, where the Panthers will be having their second annual deal. It was a nice event last year where they held the first one, and it was a very successful camp, or coaches clinic, if you will. And they're looking forward to it, and it's a great recruiting tool. You got to be happy and positive with the recruiting avenues that the Panthers have created. The stadium is coming right along. If you have not purchased your ticket, you might as well purchase it right now, because they are really and truly on schedule. As a matter of fact, the athletic department is going to be moving into the administrative wing of the stadium here within the next 30 days or so. So they're getting them loaded and ready to go, and it is going to be a beautiful, beautiful stadium. I'm pretty sure you may have seen some of the pictures and the videos all on the flipograms and whatever, the sharegrams, whatever these little photo apps are that they got things going on. Be sure to go to Prairie View Panthers athletic page, and they got some videos and everything posted up of all of the whereabouts and the changes that are coming on the heel right now. So as they say, change is all around us. Change is inevitable, and the Panthers are doing the very thing to make things come about. Don't forget, they'll be taking on the Texas A&M Aggies and the Rice Owls on this season, and we're looking forward to the results of both events. We are going to take us another break, and then when we come back, we're going to give you a overall soapbox synopsis, if that's okay. I'm Mike Prince. You listen to the Mike Prince Show. We're going to pause for the calls, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Community Radio on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, 87.9 FM, Prairie View, Texas.
Apple Ford Hyundai is a dealer you can count on. Apple's range of car services include new Ford Hyundai sales, used car sales, car loans, and auto financing. Certified Ford Hyundai Auto Service Department, full selection of Ford Hyundai auto parts and aftermarket accessories. Come on out to Brenham, Texas, and find out why Apple Ford Hyundai has been named the best kept secret in Brazos Valley. They're located at 1820 Highway 290 West in Brenham, Texas. You can dial their toll-free number at 888-898-6095. There's even an internet sales division. Simply go to www.appleford.com. Apple Ford Hyundai of Brenham, Texas.
Okay, astronaut, you're up. You'll be meeting with Wish Kid Brandon.
Roger, Brandon.
His wish is to see a space shuttle launch.
All systems are go. We are cleared for liftoff.
This year, more than 27,000 children will be diagnosed with a life-threatening medical condition.
And, Cowboy?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll be meeting with Shayla at a dude ranch in San Antonio.
Let's saddle up.
Some will miss school. Some will miss time with their family and friends.
Princess, are you here?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for rescuing me from that evil witch.
Juliana wishes for a princess-themed room makeover.
That sounds magical.
But with your help, the Make-A-Wish Foundation can lift their spirits and give them a special kind of hope.
Pirate!
Yar!
You're up for Isaac's wish.
Aye, aye, Captain.
The wishes of thousands of children are waiting to come true.
You can help make my wish happen. Visit wish.org today.
With over 20 years of experience as a lawyer, attorney Lee Van Richardson Jr. can help you with whatever your need may be. Divorce, car accidents, criminal case, wills, deeds, trust, civil suits, parent and child relationships. Contact Richardson's Law Office located at 1047 Austin Street in Hempstead, Texas. You can call them at 979-826-8008. Attorney Lee Van Richardson Jr. in Hempstead, Texas. And welcome back to Mike Prince Show. I'm Mike Prince. We're in our final segment, man, and it seems like each and every week we're running out of time as we continue to move forward. As we talked about, we're coming to our final segment right now. The Mavericks and the Rockets will be playing tonight in what is going to turn out to have a huge impact on whether or not either one of these teams make it. Right now, the Mavericks, if the playoffs were to start today, would be on the inside track. The Panthers, not the Panthers, but the Rockets would be on the outside looking in. And it leads to a whole bunch of other scenarios. Right now, the Timberwolves, they had a stunning win over the Warriors, and a lot of hype over the Warriors trying to break that 73 wins to destroy, or not destroy, but to beat the Rockets, not the Rockets. I keep saying Rockets because I'm talking about these Rockets, but to break the Bulls all-season record. And they're putting a lot of emphasis right now, and right now some critics are believing that the Warriors may be so focused on this that they're losing focus on the big picture, and that's winning another championship. And it just goes to show that when you're competing, you compete, and I hear people make these comments, and I wonder, have they ever competed on any level in anything? Because when you're a competitor, you're out there taking care. You want to win every game you go out there to win. You don't care who it is. I don't care if it's my kid. I want to win every game I want to win because that's the competitor in me. So if I got an opportunity to be the best, then why not go ahead and be the best? So I don't think that it's a distraction for the Warriors. I think more than anything, maybe it's fatigue. Don't know. maybe they should be resting some key players. But when you want to go and you're trying to secure yourself in history, then you kind of push things beyond, and everybody is, of course, they're tired, but they're saying they're not tired because that's the mentality of an athlete, especially a professional athlete that has any type of pride in him, that he's going to keep on pushing himself regardless of what he's faced off against. And I want to give a congratulations to Mr. Yao Ming, but I have to admit that when I first heard the report that he was admitted into Basketball Hall of Fame, I instantly had a brain freeze for a moment and was thinking NBA Hall of Fame. And I'll be quite honest with you, I did not think that Yao Ming was deserving to be in the NBA Hall of Fame, and I still don't believe he is, but the Basketball Hall of Fame, for what he's done for the awareness in China, you have to acknowledge him. He played 8 seasons with the Rockets. He was an all-star in all 8 of his seasons, but he never won a championship, but that's okay too. And he just didn't play long enough. 8 years is some longevity to a degree, but we know he had the foot injury where things ended up, shortening his career. But he has done a major international awareness, and in particular for the Houston Rockets, they had a whole nation watching the Rockets simply because of the connections to Yao Ming. So Yao Ming will be in the Basketball Hall of Fame, and it will be interesting to see how the NBA responds to this. I don't think that they should be swayed in any way or another, but that's why I'm on the outside looking in. I don't have a say-so in all of that. Just one man voicing his little opinions, if you will. But once again, the Rockets and the Mavericks will get together on tonight to take care of coming down to the crunches with this playoff runs. And I'm still a little, I would say, disappointed in the Rockets, and how they kind of railroaded the coach in the early part of the season. Everything was going fine, and all of a sudden you start whining and complaining, and he has to pack his bags. And the Rockets have had an up and down season pretty much ever since. But that's neither here nor there. They have an opportunity to make some right of some things, and we'll see how the Rockets respond tonight in a money game and a clutch game, if you will. In the 90s, the Rockets were referred to as Clutch City. We'll see if they can take care of business tonight as they'll take on the Mavericks. As the playoff season starts to come alive in the NBA, and it is a lot of NBA news, if you will, to go. But I cannot believe how terrible the Philadelphia 76ers have been. In fact, it was even suggested, someone tweeted, I can't recall where it was, it said, who would you take between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Villanova Wildcats? And a lot of people believe that the Wildcats could possibly even beat the Sixers without any handicaps. And that's a scary thing. That's a disappointing thing. But right now, as it shapes up from the Eastern Division, you have the Cleveland Cavaliers, Toronto Raptors, Atlanta Hawks, Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat, the Charlotte Hornets have all qualified for the playoffs. From the East, you have Indiana, Detroit, Chicago still in the mission. Kind of with an outside chance would be Washington. But for the most part, you got Indiana, Detroit, and Chicago. And from the Western part of the NBA, you have Golden State, San Antonio, who I believe is the best team all around. I know what Golden State has done, but I've said it even back when they were given the hype that I just believe San Antonio has been the best team for the past 10 years, 15 years, period, because they play team ball, no superstars, none of that. They just go and take care of business. But anyway, I digress. Oklahoma, LA Clippers have all qualified. You still have Memphis, Portland, Dallas, Utah, and Houston, and don't forget Denver with a glimmer of a hope, but not much. So it really boils down to those final bottom spots being filled by either Miami, Portland. You can pretty much figure them in. Right now, you got to figure out what's going to happen between Dallas, Utah, and the Rockets. And it all begins tonight for the Rockets, as the Rockets will get a chance to try and show that they're playoff worthy on how they respond with the Mavericks on today. Other games of interest: Cleveland will be at Indiana, Detroit at Orlando, Brooklyn will be at Washington, the New Orleans Pelicans will be at Boston, Charlotte will be at New York, and you have Oklahoma City at Portland, and the Clippers will be taking on the Lakers as Kobe continues his exit run for his farewell tour, if you will. And Thursday night is going to see Phoenix and Houston do battle, and that once again is going to be another big game for the Rockets. So can the Rockets man up and take care of positions or situations to be in position for the playoffs for the NBA? And that's another thing, that I think the NBA is extremely long. That's just me. That's a lot of games, and it's not even necessarily the regular season, it's the playoff format that I have a problem with, and it's confusing on when they're playing, but that's neither here or there. I'm out of time, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so much. Once again, don't forget that if you're in the Prairie View community, we are going to have a candidates forum on April the 9th on the campus of Prairie View at the Clark Building, beginning at 9 a.m. with the breakfast, and then at 10 o'clock we'll start the meeting, the candidates forums. Be sure to be in attendance. If you cannot, go to michaelprinceformayor.com for the rebroadcast of the live event through our network at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. That is michaelprinceformayor.com, MichaelPrince, all together, the number 4 and mayor.com. Once again, we want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Always supportive of the Southwestern Athletic Conference and the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, of course. And remember, if you see a problem and you're not coming up with a solution, you are part of the problem. Remember to visit us on Twitter at OBN_radio, Instagram OBN Radio. Our website is obnradio.com. We're on iHeartRadio at OBN Sports. OBN Sports. And did I say that we're on Twitter? Yes, I said we're on Twitter. And we're on Facebook at Open Mic Broadcast Network. I am Dr. Michael Prince. My time is up. Thank you all so much for joining in with us on this week. And as always, be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side. Adios.